Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2139. 39. When the map stops making sense. This week we are starting the redirection series. This is part 1 of redirection. So for the next 5 nights, we're going to have different topics. In fact, where did I put my, oh, there's my journal. In fact, yeah. So tonight we're doing part 1, which is when the map stops making sense. We've got some cool stuff coming up on the topics and all of that too. So there comes a moment when the plan you were following, the map you trusted, just stops working. Maybe it leads you somewhere you don't belong. Maybe it can't account for what you've outgrown. Maybe it was never yours to begin with. This is the moment where redirection begins, not because you've failed, but because it's time to find your own way. You can liken this to like a roadmap. If you have, oh, I should have put that in here. I found one last night. I actually found a book, an old Rand McNally, Thomas Guide of LA, I think it was. Or was it San Diego? It was an old map book anyway. But I was thinking, when I was putting this together, I was thinking about how, actually I'll get to that in a second because it goes into the next section that we're going to be talking about, what this moment teaches. Outdated directions can't guide a changing soul. So if you look at a roadmap that's been printed, it is eventually going to get out of date because there's new roads being moved, roads being rebuilt, housing developments going in, commercial areas going in. So there's new roads being created. There's old roads being taken out and replaced with a different route on the roads. So that's giving you outdated directions. So you've got to figure out, what can I do? How do I get around this? The same with your personal roadmap, with your goals and your dreams that you want to achieve. Outdated directions can't guide a changing soul. When you are in the process of becoming, of surrendering, outdated directions can't guide you. Sticking to the map can sometimes lead to more confusion, not clarity. Yeah, if you look at a roadmap that's outdated, it's definitely going to cause you confusion. It's the same with your own personal roadmap. If you're sticking to the old map, you're going to get confusion, not clarity. You need to update the map. Redirection isn't direction, it's refinement. Yes, it is when you get redirected on a map. Like if you're looking at the GPS map that's on your phone, on your navigation system, wherever that's electronic, you can get updates for those very quickly and very easily. And it can redirect you where you need to go. Now, when you're out RVing, you've got this program, it's called Trip Wizard, RV Trip Wizard, and you plug in there the size of your RV, or if you're towing a fifth wheel or the trailer one, the trailer camper. We call them caravans in New Zealand. So if you're driving in any of those vehicles where it's extra long, extra height than normal, you can put your vehicle dimensions in there. So the complete length, if you're towing, from the front bumper of the vehicle doing the towing to the back bumper of whatever it is you're towing, whether it's a fifth wheel or a trailer camper. If it's a RV or Class A, it's from bumper to bumper. Put that in there. You also stick the height in there, the highest point. And what it does is that the map will redirect you. So you might say, well, I'm going to go this way, but the GPS system will then redirect you to safe roads for you to go into, where you're not going to hit low bridges. You're not going to get caught in windy, twisty roads that are going to be very difficult for you to navigate because of the length of your vehicle. So it's refining. It's not rejecting your route. It's refining it so that you can have a safer passage. The same with your life. Redirection is not rejection. It just means you can't go that way because there could be a roadblock that way. There could be a low, there could be low clearance for you to get through an area, or it could be too twisty and turny for you, for you to navigate that road successfully. So you're getting redirected onto a safer route. You're allowed to rewrite the route at any point. Absolutely. If you don't like the direction it's going, you can always change it. Yep. And that will help you get around obstacles. Like if you find out that the road's closed ahead and your map has got you going that particular way, where there's a road closed, you come across a sign that says road closed. Now what do you do? So yes, you can rewrite your maps, reroute your maps. What happens when we cling to the old map? We override our intuition for the sake of the familiar. We know this route, we've traveled this route, we haven't traveled it for a couple of years. We don't take into account there could be changes to that route. It could now go off in a different direction. They could have removed the old road and built a new road there that takes you a different way. It could be closed due to a landslide or a rock or maybe a sinkhole. There could be obstacles in that way that you're not aware of. We stay committed to paths that no longer align. Our path is meant to be going this way, but you want to go this way because it's familiar. We miss out on surprising, meaningful detours. Sometimes when you take the detours, you find some really cool stuff. It's the same when you're driving. If you have to take a detour because there's a road closure coming up or something, or roadworks, and you don't want to go through the roadwork area, you want to detour around it, you can find some really cool stuff. You can find some great little places, some great little mom and pop dining places, gift stores, gas stations that have really cool shopping centers in them, that are part of shopping centers. The views, the vistas, you will miss out on the surprising, meaningful detours if you cling to the old map. We confuse discomfort with danger and stay stuck. So now we have to figure out how to get unstuck. What it looks like to trust the redirection, pausing without panic. You've got the new path. You may not be familiar with it, and that's okay. Remember, we've been talking about the last few weeks about stepping out in faith. When it comes to becoming, when it comes to surrendering, when it comes to finding your rhythm, now we're also trusting that step of faith in redirection. You've got the map there. The GPS is telling you go this way because it's going to say, one, it's going to save you time. Two, it's clear your vehicle is going to get through that area. And so you trust the map to take you that way, even if you're not 100% sure about it. Trust it. And that, pausing without panic. Let's go do this. Acknowledging that confusion is a sign of growth. If you are confused about something, it's because you're not clear on things. So you work out, how can I take this confusion and make it clearer? Remember, you're going to be growing during that period. From taking the confusion to the clarity, it's growing. So confusion is a sign of growth. Let curiosity guide the next step. Oh, let's go this way. Let's go see what's down here. But you're supposed to be going this way. No, that's the old map. We've been redirected this way. Wonder what's around this corner here. You never know. There was one. What was one detour we did? Oh, we were going from Arizona up into Nevada, and the way we went was a slightly different way than I'd gone the last time I'd taken that route, like in the car. Last time I'd taken that route in the car, because I did not remember these tall cliffs as we're going through this canyon. We're driving, doing this windy road thing, and there's these tall cliffs on both sides. It was absolutely gorgeous and amazing. And I said to my dad as I'm driving the RV, I said, I don't remember coming this way the last time I was in a car when I drove to Vegas. I just don't remember this. So we were going a completely different, and yet it turned out that it actually was the same route. But I just didn't remember these big, tall cliff faces being on either side of the road. It was just amazing. But let curiosity guide the next step. Sometimes when you let the curiosity go, help guide you, you come across some amazing things. You might find that one thing that's going to kickstart everything, or kickstart whatever it is you're trying to kickstart. It's going to get you to the next town quicker or the next goal quicker. Another one is giving yourself permission to turn around or take a new route. You're going along one route, you go, I really don't like this one. So when you come to the next junction, which way are you going to go? Zeffie and I used to do this in the car. It was absolutely, we used to go on Sunday drives. We'd go on Sunday drives. The thing was, we would go on a Sunday drive, we'd stop at a fast food place, and we would change the fast food place every week and get breakfast there. Then we'll go and find a spot to sit and have breakfast. And yes, she would get some of it. And then what we did is we would go for a drive. And as we're coming to an intersection, I would go to Zeffie, left, right, straight ahead. And I have a curved mirror that you can see into the back seat very easily. And I would glance at that, and whichever way her head was pointed, that would be the direction we would go. And we would take turns. And we would end up in some, letting curiosity guide the next step. That was one way that we did that. We gave ourselves permission to turn around and take a new route. I have done this so many times over the last 7.5 years as I'm trying to figure out who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing and everything else. Things change. You go along one path, And then all of a sudden, things just underlying, we need to make a change. And giving yourself permission to turn around and take a new route is what we do. And we talked about giving ourselves permission. I think it was like 2 weeks ago we did that. Believing that what doesn't make sense yet will reveal itself. And you could be going along on this new path and you're sort of like, am I going to get to where I'm going? This kind of doesn't look right. But something inside says, just believe, just trust, take that step of faith. And when you do that, all of us, and you're going through different challenges and stuff as you're along this road, and you're saying, I really don't like this road. I'm getting all these different challenges and things. But all of a sudden, clarity comes in and everything is revealed to you of why you were on that path and why you went through those obstacles. It could be the reason that you're not achieving a dream or a goal is because you may not be on the right path right now. But once you get on the right path and and it could be that you left a path because of obstacles, but maybe you were supposed to stay on that path and go through those obstacles, because when you go through obstacles, you stretch and grow. And when you stretch and grow, it makes you ready for the next step that's coming. So yes, when we go through all these challenges, it prepares you for what's coming next. So on your legacy connection, when you choose to change direction, especially when it's hard, you show others it's okay to adjust course without shame. You model courage over conformity, and you demonstrate that a meaningful life isn't always linear. It's lived in pivots and pauses and the brave reroutes. And your questions for this evening, for you to write on your Porch Light notes pages, in your Porch Light reflection journal, which you can get by scanning the code up here. The reflection questions, they're also in the description down below. Where in my life does the map no longer feel accurate? What stories am I telling myself about turning around or changing direction? And there could be stories that you are telling yourself, not about why you should be turning around or changing direction, but you could be telling yourself stories why you should not. You could be giving yourself stories or excuses not to turn around and change direction. Sometimes you just got to, as they say, bite the bullet and make the change. What part of me already knows the way, even if I can't explain it? I think I'm going to put myself through those questions too. And in closing, the map may stop making sense, but your inner compass hasn't failed you. It's leading you home another way. Let me say that again. The map may stop making sense, but your inner compass hasn't failed you. It's leading you home another way. I'll love it when I go home different ways. It takes out the boredom sometimes, because sometimes you're going along on a journey and you're sort of like, oh, this is so boring. Or you get in that state where you're driving home and you get home and you're sort of like, how did I get here? It's okay to take a different way home. It's okay to find a different way. When I move into a new area, I love finding how many different ways can I get back to where I started from. Like when I'm living here in Arizona, how many different ways can I get back to my house? To where I am. There's several different ways I can go. Depends how long I want to drive for. I can take a very circular route, which could take me an hour or two, or I could take the quick route, which could be like 5 to 10 minutes. So find all the different ways. And it's the same in life, that sometimes here's your goal right here. Sometimes you have to take a circular route to get there, and sometimes you take a direct route. How many other ways can you find in between? And with that, we are out of here. We'll see you guys here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hei konera.